Hi everyone, how you guys doing? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Remember how I said I would do a video once a month or once a week and then I just disappeared for a month? Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but we're back now, so it's okay. Wipe your tears away, my sweet child. I'm back, don't worry. Big news, actually. Big announcement. I have been officially invited to participate in PAX West this year with the purpose of coverage for their horror section and horror video games and whatever else they have. I have officially been invited to an event, which is fucking insane. This is my first event I've ever been invited to, and it just so happens to be one of the biggest video game conventions in the world. I'm super excited. If you plan on going and you see me, please don't be afraid to come out and say hi. I'm really excited to go and meet all of you guys. And if you guys see me doing a video, yell something at me. But yeah, super excited about that, and I can't wait to meet you guys. All right, yeah, that's all I have to say on that matter. Today, I want to make a video talking about disturbing movies. Now, as opposed to another video that I did like a year or two ago about the disturbing movie iceberg, what's going to be different with this video is that I am going to take a couple movies and go in depth about them, as opposed to in that video where I spent a minute or two talking about every movie on that iceberg. In this video, we're going to dedicate 5 to 10 to 3 hours to a movie. That's the difference. That's it. All of these movies are also on the disturbing movie iceberg just because the dude who made the iceberg, Nice Guy Phil, is a fan of the disturbing movie genre. So it makes sense that these films would also be on there because they're actually kind of fucked up. So that's why these films are also on the disturbing movie iceberg. And also with some of these films, I have seen them firsthand and I even own some of them. So that's great. I want to start this off by saying that I don't own them because they're so good. I own them because they're just so fucking over the top, so wacky and wild that I just, for some reason, I wanted to buy them because of how fucking weird they were. Which leads us into our first film that we're going to talk about today, which is a film called... Let me grab it. Hold on. NekroMantik. I first learned about this film about 10 to 12 years ago from a YouTuber named Matthew Santoro. He made a video talking about the most disturbing movies ever made. NekroMantik was number one. And like a sane person would do, like anybody else would do, after hearing that, I immediately went to watch it because the entire thing is on YouTube. Yes, the entire movie is on YouTube. It's in German, so you don't understand what's happening, but it's there. I just looked it up 5 minutes ago. It is still there. And NekroMantik is a movie from 1987. And like I said, it is German. And when I say it's German, I mean, like, I can't find any dub or sub of fucking English to this movie. NekroMantik, if you can't sound it out, it's about necrophilia. Necrophilia is the act of performing sexual intercourse on a corpse. Yeah. I was going to say corpse or dead body, but that both just means corpse. So that's what necrophilia is, and that's what that movie is. And I don't think I need to say anything, but I'm going to. There's no actual necrophilia in this film. It's all practical effects. There's no CGI or anything like that. They actually made all of the... Whatever, we're moving on. So I'm going to try my absolute best to describe this film to you visually because, of course, it's in German. I don't fucking speak German, so... I don't know what the hell's happening half the time, but I do know that the things that they show are just way over the fucking top. So the film follows specifically a man named something. I don't know what his name is because, again, it's in German, and I don't know the difference between a name in German and German words like the or, hey, let's take this dead body home and fuck it. So his job is he cleans up crime scenes. And in this particular movie... he finds a dead body in the bushes, just strewn in the bushes off to the side. I don't even remember if, like, that was the reason he was there or if he was just walking around and, oh, there's a body right there. I don't remember exactly, but he finds a body in the bushes and it is decomposed to shit. Like, it literally looks like Imhotep from the start of The Mummy, and he takes it home to his girlfriend, who, spoiler alert, is also a necrophiliac, and they go to fucking town on this thing. And what I mean by that is she sticks, like, I think it's a broomstick or a metal pole. Don't remember which one. And she puts it in the pelvis area, like like fucking sticks it in there, and like gets a condom and puts it over the pipe or broomstick, which, by the way, to this day, don't know what that was about. Why? Was the broomstick gonna fucking climax? I don't know. But anyway, and the one part of this scene in particular that I remember is that for some reason, this decomposed body still had an eyeball, and the dude takes the eyeball out with his mouth and like, oh fuck! Oh, I can't. Holy shit! 1 second. Give me a sec. Oh my god. it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. So he like takes the eyeball, takes it out, like sucks on it in his mouth, some shit, and spits it back out in its socket and puts it back. And from what the research that I have done on the film, apparently that was a real eye, not a human eye. It was a pig eye. So he did that to an actual eyeball, which just is fucking wild. And I shit you not, that takes place within the first like 20 minutes of the movie. And the entire movie is like an hour and 30. So already know I'm in it for the long haul. I'm going for this ride, and I don't care if I have to jump off halfway through. I am going for this ride. Honestly, there was a lot of dialogue in this film, and I don't speak German, so all of that is fucking lost to me. But at some point during the film, the girlfriend leaves him and takes the body, because for some reason they take the fucking corpse and they hang it on the wall. Like a fucking Halloween decoration. They just take it and put it on the wall, and they just go about their day like there isn't a dead body on their fucking wall. But for some reason, she leaves him in the film, and she takes the body, and he's like walking around his apartment, and he looks up, and the body's gone, and he's just like, oh. There was also a part in the film during like the middle end of the film where he finds a woman of the night, pays her, and then brings her back to a cemetery, murders her, goes to town on it, falls asleep, wakes up to the caretaker of the graveyard, like standing over him with a shovel, and like screaming at him in German. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, obviously. But then he takes the shovel and just fucking like hits him on the head, and it like comedically explodes. Comedically explodes. Like it explodes like no amount of force on, like Barry Bonds could take a baseball bat and hit somebody over the head with a baseball bat and it would not explode with this much force. It's ridiculous. Like I said, I don't know what's happening during the dialogue parts, but he gets heartbroken at one point or at the end of the movie, and he decides to do the old Remington retirement. But instead of a Remington, he uses a knife. And so he's trying to stab himself in the stomach to, you know, get it over with. But he's a necrophiliac, so he takes his phallus out, and it's there. It's fucking there, and he starts just fucking stabbing himself, and he's just climaxing over and over, and then it turns to blood, and then the film fucking ends. It just ends. And then there's an after credit scene, and I am not fucking with you when I say that this is the best after credit scene that I have ever seen in my entire life, regardless of the tier of movie. Like, I think it was better than like Marvel Cinematic Universe end scenes. Like, it was the camera panning through a graveyard, and then it goes to a grave, and it ends up being the dude's grave, and then a shovel comes out of nowhere, and then a woman's heel and foot just try and push the shovel back into the dirt. And then it ends. And what that is supposed to mean, if you can't pick it up by now, is the girlfriend came back to his body and started digging up his body to go to town on his body, which is fucking, it's just a perfect way to end that movie. I don't know why, but to me, perfect. Now, there is a controversy that surrounds this movie, and it actually has nothing to do with the fact that the film is about necrophilia, which blows my fucking mind. It blows it right out of the water. The controversy is actually like during the whole, when he's doing his old Remington retirement thing. During that, in between the shots of him stabbing himself, we also cut to another like scene of a farmer killing and skinning a real rabbit. Like it was a real rabbit that died, but they played it in reverse. and it was just cutting in and out with him. That's the controversy. Nothing to do with the fact that it's a film about necrophilia. It was all about how they showed a rabbit dying and then getting skinned, and it was a real rabbit, which I get, but it's a film about necrophilia, and you're worried about a rabbit. I don't get that part. Does that make me a bad person? That probably makes me a bad person. I don't care. I'm standing on that one. That's just a wild thing to place the controversy on. Like I said, the entire film is on YouTube right now. I don't suggest going to watch it. I'm not condoning you going and watching it, but I know people are going to look anyway and try and get malware on their computer for downloading stupid shit. So it is on YouTube if you do want to see it. I don't suggest it, but again, it's not bad in any way. It's just a what the flying fuck am I watching? The next film I want to talk about really needs no introduction. It's a film that goes by the name of a Serbian film. And if you're unfamiliar with a Serbian film, there is no name. Like, the name of it is a Serbian film, but it's in Serbian. So let's actually try and, I don't know how to pronounce that. Spursky? Srpski. That's not how you pronounce that at all. Srpski film. Srpski. A Serbian film. That's the actual name of the film. Now, like I said, this movie came to my attention a long, long time ago when Matthew Santoro talked about it, but didn't give any details on it. I think his literal words, like verbatim, was, there is another movie called A Serbian Film that I do not feel comfortable with talking about. So, like another sane person, I was like, okay, what the fuck is this film about? And then I read about it, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Before I get into what a Serbian film is about, you guys need to understand something about a Serbian film. It was made in protest. It's a protest film against the Serbian film industry and how it's becoming too PC. So the director of this film, named, I cannot pronounce that, he made this film as fucked up and disturbing as possible as a way of protest against the PC-ness that was creeping its way into Serbian film industry. Another thing about this film that you need to understand is that it doesn't show you a lot. It shows you a lot, but it lets you infer a shit ton more, like an uncomfortable amount more. So the film follows a man named Milo, who is a struggling legendary prawn star. I'm just going to call him Milo from now on, who gets offered a job by one of his ex-co-stars, who knows that he's struggling financially and hooks him up with an art director, an art prawn movie director. Don't remember his name. And also, even if I did remember it, I wouldn't be able to fucking pronounce it. So the art director's name, the director's name, his name is art director. I forgot to mention, the movie opens up with Milo's son, who is like very not of age, very young, watching one of Milo's movies. It opens up like that. So this movie's fucking kind of gnarly already. So he drives to the shoot location, which is at an orphanage. And immediately after he gets out of his car, a camera crew starts following him around. And he goes into the orphanage and immediately sees a little girl on a staircase getting yelled at by her mother for being a prostitute. The little girl is a prostitute, and the woman is yelling at the little girl because she is disrespecting her dead war hero father's name by being a prostitute. Already wild. We're 10 minutes into this fucking movie. He then goes into a dark room where a bunch of screens light up, and it's the same little girl eating ice cream. And then somebody comes in and starts going down on him while the screen is going, which is already just a what the fuck moment. And he's kind of hesitant. Milo's kind of hesitant. And then when she's done, the mother comes in and starts going down on him. And the little girl, whose name is Jekka, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Jekka, is watching. And the director tells Milo to start beating the shit out of the mom. And so he does that very hesitantly. And then the scene is done, which is fucking wild. This movie it's crazy. It's crazy as shit. The director then meets with Milo to try and explain his art style because he knows that Milo is very hesitant. And how he does that is he shows him another one of his films where a woman gives birth and then the baby is immediately taken and R-worded. This film is just filled of why. If you haven't noticed it by now, this film is filled to the brim of just what the fuck, why the fuck, and how the fuck. I'm not over dramatizing anything either. If anything, I am under dramatizing it. This movie is fucking over the top. After seeing this, of course, Milo gets outraged and he leaves, drives away, but then he's caught at a intersection by the same woman nurse who seduces Milo. And then the movie literally cuts, and then Milo wakes up. And he's bloody, he's beat the shit out of, and he's just like, what the fuck? What happened? Because he has no memory of what happened. So he drives back to the orphanage, to the shoot location, and finds a bunch of tapes. And he starts watching them, and he begins to piece together what happened during the last couple of fucking days that he doesn't remember. Turns out Milo was drugged by something that the doctors called bull Viagra, which doesn't fucking exist. Well, it kind of does exist. It's basically Viagra with enough kick that it would work on a bull. He finds out that he R-worded a bunch of people, and at one point he was being filmed beating the shit out of the mom again and R-wording her, and then decapitates her like during the thing, and then keeps going on the fucking dead decapitated body, which is fucking wild. I need to say this part because it's very important for the rest of the film. He's taken to a warehouse where with a masked man and then two bodies, and they start assaulting the bodies, right? And then he realizes that the one that he's on is bleeding a lot, and he takes the mask off of the other masked man who is also assaulting the woman, and it's his brother who was very sexually attracted to his wife. And so he removes the sheet off of the one that he's assaulting, and it's his wife. And he's like, what the fuck? And he takes the sheet off of the one that he is doing, and it's his son. His little son. I don't remember how, but Milo kills everyone, and they go back to the house. And then he takes a gun, and he shoots all three of them. And then the end of the film is another camera crew goes into the house with all three of the dead bodies. And then it's like, there's a guy that looks at one of the other dudes and is like, all right, start with the little one. And the dude just start unbuttoning his pants. And then the movie fucking ends. A Serbian Film is, without a doubt, one of the most disturbing films I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's because of the things that it infers. It infers a lot of the information that is given to you. It leaves it up to the imagination. I don't own that one. I do want it. I don't want to watch it again, but I do want it. Just to have it. I don't know how to explain this feeling to you, but I want it just to have it. But I never want to watch it. Those are some of the most disturbing movies that I have seen personally. But there are other movies out there similar to these, like Salo or 120 Days of Sodom, that are just so fucking complicated that I don't know how else to explain it to you. Like, for example, I was going to try and talk about Salo right now, but I don't know how. There are a bunch of other YouTubers that do it way better than I ever could. I would suggest going and watching them. So Salo or 120 Days of Sodom would also be here on this list. I just don't know how to break that one down, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm just going to end the video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of your love and support. I will try and get more videos out in the future. If you guys want me to talk about anything disturbing, scary, or anything like that, please let me know in the comment section down below. But other than that, if you guys have nothing else for me, then I have nothing else for you. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.